Influencers are quite an interesting breed if you ask me. Are they humans? Are they robots? No one really knows. Sometimes influencers are caught doing very questionable things that makes you, well, just question what were they thinking. Today on IO, we're counting down the top 10 entitled influencers that lied and were caught in 4K. No getting out of this one. Shaggy has to make an updated version of Wasn't Me, mentioned he was caught in 4K. Alright, you guys know you gotta smash the like button for your boy, and let's get into this spicy list. Starting us off at number 10, Danielle Bregoli. Now you guys may or may not remember, about a year and a half ago, Bad Baby, which is Danielle's rap name, got into a handful of disputes with fellow rapper slash entertainer, Whoa Vicky, which I don't know what happened to her, but that's alright. So long story short, Bregoli tried to run up on Vicky while Vicky was in the recording studio. Video actually shows Bregoli appearing to get beat up by Vicky, at least from the angles that were released. You saw Vicky on top of Bregoli, so take from that what you will. That being said, Bregoli would take to her social media shortly after to say she didn't get beat up, even though there were a lot of videos showing the contrary. Aside from this, she claimed Vicky wanted to fight, but again, another video shows Bregoli literally running up at Vicky while the latter had her feet up sitting in a chair with no intention of getting physical. So, kinda lied, kinda got caught in 4K. Boom! Number 9, self-proclaimed Your Highness Chow B. Leo. This story is absolutely bonkers, as Chow is using filters to make herself appear much younger than she actually is. Now I understand some people look younger or older than they actually are, but Chow here was either doing something very smart or very scummy, depending on how you view it, I guess. Either way, she would use filters, appearing to be a very pretty, youthful lady. Now, it's unclear if she ever necessarily said her age. It's one thing if she lied about that, but if they never asked, then it's kind of their problem. Either way, she would gain over 100,000 subscribers, and during a joint live stream with another streamer, she would start receiving donations. At one point, fans asked for a face reveal, but Chow said only after receiving 100,000 yen, which is about 12,000 bucks American, will she do a reveal. Reports claim people were donating, with some of the largest ones reaching close to $6,000. But at some point, her filter stopped working, revealing her true identity, leaving a lot of fans feeling duped and some very angry. On to number 8, Lisa Lee. You guys may or may not remember this one, as Lee was called out by her landlord for not living the life she claimed to live. Prior to being exposed, Lee claimed to be one of those wealthy influencers who lived a very lavish lifestyle and made people envious of the incredible life she lived. However, it turns out she was literally living a double life, as Lee's landlord, who was referred to as Miss Chen, exposed how she really lives. After ignoring Miss Chen's calls, it seems the landlord was fed up, so she gave an up-close and personal tour of Lee's absolutely filthy home. According to Chen, the apartment was so dirty, a professional cleaning service refused to clean it, and she had to get the police involved to deal with Lee's many overdue utility bills. Yikes. Number 7, Hush Puppy. This guy's a real piece of work simply because I just can't imagine taking advantage of people like this, let alone people who consider themselves fans of your work. Real name Ramon Abbas, but known online as Hush Puppy, it seems this influencer, like many on the list, gained a large following by exuding his wealth. However, it seems the wealth may not have been as genuine as people thought, which eventually led to the arrest of Hush Puppy and numerous charges brought against him related to cybercrimes. Although his wealth was likely real, such as the numerous cars, the private jets, and designer clothing, his job wasn't so legit. Upon his arrest, authorities claimed numerous phones and laptops, as well as tens of millions in assets and cash were seized. Sources say his birthday post on Instagram helped authorities track him down, and his arrest was also captured on camera. In a nutshell, it seems he was accused of running an online scam and pretty much just stealing people's information. Number 6, Numain. This is some pretty random TikTok drama, but user Numain, which I hope I'm saying right, real name Kane Trujillo, has recently received a lot of backlash being accused of stealing from creators. More specifically, numerous creators have shown side-by-side comparisons of Kane's videos next to other creators being nearly identical. With 2.7 million followers, to no surprise, a lot of people thought the work was his own. Yet it seems he was ripping off other creators on the app and passing it off as his own work, with no credit ever given to the originals. Fans have taken to Twitter and his personal TikTok account's comment section to call him out, but Kane has defended his actions, saying that he's just an actor who makes other creators' content better. Take what you will from this, guys, but it seems this whole thing is just getting started right here. Now halfway at 5, Johanna Emma Olsen. This one is incredible because even though she was caught lying and admitted to it, she still kind of stood by her lie. She just committed and this was the hill she was willing to die on, so I won't lie, it's kind of admirable. So Olsen here is a travel influencer and was given an all-expenses-paid trip to Paris to take some pics wearing specific clothing. Talk about a sweet gig. Olsen did just that, but apparently didn't like the original photos. So like most influencers, she decided to Photoshop the pictures, but when I tell you a beginner could have done a better job, like I'm sorry Johanna, but you really put minimal effort here, eh? In one photo, she's floating on a bridge, while another shows the top of an umbrella completely missing. After being caught, she would be featured on numerous talk shows across Sweden, and still has the photos up explaining, I quote, I just wanted to make clear that I was in Paris, but I did Photoshop the background, but I'm not going to take them down because it's a collaboration and they're nice pictures. It's a good outfit. So long story short, she just didn't like the background, so she Photoshopped herself, put in a different background, but it was the same pictures of her in Paris. On to number 4, Fiona Moriarty McLaughlin. This one was a big old yikes-a-rooney. During the Black Lives Matter protest, while shops were boarding up their windows to hopefully prevent any damage being caused, this influencer apparently saw an opportunity. In a video which was initially shared on Twitter but would quickly go viral on numerous platforms, Fiona could be seen holding a drill and wood as if she's actually doing anything. After the camera pans to show another man taking a photo, you can see and hear Fiona tell the man actually boarding up the store, "Thank you so much." She then walks back to her Mercedes and drives off. The video has racked up almost 30 million views on Twitter alone, but I'm sure hundreds of millions across all platforms. She tried to say it was a misunderstanding and that she was being heckled by the people filming her, and that it wasn't just a photo op, but I mean, I don't know guys, seems like she got caught to me. Definitely much more to the story though, so check it out if you guys are interested. Number 3, Carissa C. Walker. Now I will say this is news that broke just a couple days ago, and the information I currently have available is limited because, well, you know, it's subject to change by the time you guys actually see the video. That being said, music producer Mustard, who is formerly known as DJ Mustard, recently took to Instagram to call Walker out, claiming she stole $50,000 from him for likes. Mustard claims he hired her as a personal shopper and stylist for him, but as per his Instagram story, I quote, "Today I found out that she ran my credit cards up over 50K buying stuff for herself, purses, shoes, shades, and other stuff. This is crazy and just wrong. All for Instagram. Mind you, she gets paid 6K a month to shop, that's 72K a year. You just messed that up for some Instagram likes?" He also shared a message which he claims came from Carissa reading, I quote, "Truly am so sorry. Should have never got to this point. My temptation turned to greed and I am so sorry." As of now, she hasn't spoken on the accusations. On to number 2, Ravana. This vegan influencer lied to her followers, and obviously when they saw she was eating fish, well, they were very upset. Real name Yvonne Mendoza. Back in 2019, this vegan vlogger was featured in another vlogger's video with what appeared to be fish on her plate. After rumors started to arise, she made a video titled "This is what is happening," which is no longer available, which is interesting. A lot of these videos, apologies and explanation videos of past dramas, they always disappear like years later. Anyways, in the video she explained how she tried being vegan, but after the negative impacts it had on her personally, she decided to recently change her diet. I quote her saying, "I was vegan, completely vegan for almost 6 years. It's been 2 months since I started incorporating eggs and fish in my diet." Her video started by explaining she, I quote, "just wants to be completely honest and authentic and truthful with her fans." However, many weren't quick to accept her apology. She got trolled a lot on both Instagram and YouTube, with people asking why, if she's been dealing with problems for years, she would promote this diet and continue to promote it if she was no longer on it. Others included a handful of fish emojis and just straight up insults. Number 1, we got Brittany Dawn. This fitness influencer was accused and actually admitted to scamming a handful of her followers, yet it seems the controversy only helped grow her brand, which I really don't understand. Anyway, Dawn offered what she claimed to be personalized fitness and nutrition plans, charging followers up to $300 each, only for them to receive nothing too personal, if anything at all. Fans also complained those who criticized Dawn would have their comments removed or blocked altogether. One former customer told Insider, I quote, "Dating back to 2016, possibly earlier, she has been scamming clients by not sending their fitness and nutritional ebooks, not following through with online coaching, not conducting weekly check-ins, and not individualizing workout packets." Brittany repeatedly deleted and blocked clients who would call this to her attention. Of course, her apology video has since been deleted, but a Facebook group with thousands of upset customers has been made, leading to many getting refunds of only up to 50%. This in itself was another issue. Kicking us off at number 10, we got Haley Pham. The YouTuber decided to make a little video about her recent trip to Europe, which for some odd reason is no longer available. Her Instagram post in Greece is no longer available either. You guys may figure out why after I tell you why she was called out. Pham went to Greece on a vacation and in her video decided to talk about how negative her experience apparently was while in the country. After complaining about messing up her own hotel and flights, she then blamed the fact that she got sick on the country itself, which I don't know guys. To no surprise, most of the comments on her video were commenting that Pham was spoiled and entitled, while others claimed she was simply stating her opinion, and that's totally allowed. Pham said, I quote, "Now this is just a mini review of Santorini, just in case you see the Instagram pictures and you've like always wanted to go there. I highly discourage you from going to Greece. There's nothing to do there because there's no beach. It's just a cliff. So there's shopping, but then you could barely even like maneuver through the streets because it's so crowded." On to number 9, Bondi Boost influencers. There's about 3 or 4 influencers total here, including Indy Clinton, Gia Giudice, Veda Stevens, and Shannon Lawson. Vada Stevens maybe? Who cares? All who promoted Bondi Boost, a hair supplement company. The only issue is in their posts promoting said product, it appears the product has never been opened. Now, of course, you could argue that they had used the product prior and were taking photos with brand new items. However, for all four of them to have that be the case seems a bit sus, no? With Indie's photo, you can clearly see the white safety seal is still on. Gia here also posted a photo with a shampoo and conditioner, claiming she'd used them for weeks, even though they appeared unopened. It's a little awkward. Vada Stevens was holding a few bottles that literally still had the plastic wrapping on them, which makes it very obvious she had not used those exact products. The Instagram account Celeb Spellcheck appeared to catch the funny or disappointing truth that these influencers were likely pushing a product they never used before. Shocker. Number 8, Ann Salamanca. So this influencer, who is originally from Alabama but is known to hundreds of thousands of fans in the Philippines as Mika Salamanca, got herself into some trouble while posting a video to TikTok. While traveling from Manila to Hawaii, Salamanca disobeyed the rule that all travelers need to quarantine for 14 days as per the COVID-19 restrictions. After arriving in Honolulu on July 6th, it appears just 4 days later, she was out in public, being seen dancing and eating. Sources claim Salamanca apologized, but also stated that law enforcement told her if she tested negative, she could go out. Hawaii Attorney General Claire Connors argued that, saying, I quote, "None of my investigators would convey that information as it is incorrect. The fact Miss Salamanca has so many followers makes her actions that much more dangerous and concerning. The spread of misinformation could have very severe consequences during an emergency situation like we are in now." She ended up being out on $2,000 bail, but still, like, what a mess. At number 7, the fake jet influencers. Again, there's a few here, but more or less, these influencers paid a service in which you get to take a photo shoot on a private jet setting. Makes for a great photo shoot, and apparently to some influencers, a great opportunity to let your followers think you're living a life you're potentially not. Did someone say social media is ingenuine? No. Never. One influencer, Kennedy Simone, was called out on Twitter for posting pictures on the set, while another influencer, Azra Mian, was also found guilty of doing the same. Twitter users were quick to also show how both women quickly edited the captions to reflect that they weren't on a real private jet or weren't actually going somewhere. Of course, after they were called out. Strange time, folks. Let me tell ya, strange times indeed. Now at number 6, Casey Sosnowski. Casey here actually got exposed by her own sister when the influencer posed for a photo shoot while on a hike. Casey's sister Carly took to her own Twitter account to expose her sister, sharing the photo with the caption, "My sister said she was going hiking. This is our backyard." The tweet would go viral very quickly, with over 40,000 retweets and 258,000 likes at the time of this recording. As you could see from the tweeted photo and the updated one, Casey has since changed her photo's caption, likely to save her any more embarrassment. That being said, I don't know, I don't think this is the end of the world, but I mean, it's a little silly for sure, but really that big of a deal? More so more funny, but still. She made the caption like, "Love being in nature," and then she was like, "My backyard or a hike? You'll never know." And it's like, we all know. Halfway now at 5, we got Jake Paul. I won't lie to you guys, I don't want to keep using Jake on every list, but it's almost impossible not to include him with all the stuff he does day in and day out. This time around, he claimed he had early signs of CTE and then retracted his statement because you could only see whether or not someone has CTE after they die. So I mean, yeah, not a good thing to say. When speaking about his dedication to boxing prior to his fight with Ben Askren, Paul explained, I quote, "You know, it's a dangerous sport, and that's why when people question my dedication to it, it's like I'm showing up every single day. I'm putting my mental health on the line. My brain is on the line. Like you said, I've gone and gotten brain scans and have early signs of CTE, but I love this sport and wouldn't trade it for anything else. And I'm a fighter, and people will see that. Whether it's after Saturday night or whether it's a year from now, they will see that I'm a fighter." After receiving a ton of backlash, Paul took to Twitter saying, I quote, "I want to retract my comments made about CTE as it relates to me and my medical history. It's a very serious condition that I should not have misspoken about." You think? Number 4, Jessie Taylor, also known as Jessie Taylor, duh. I've spoken about this one before, but it feels like it's been a while, so I decided to bring her back once again. For those of you who don't know or remember Jessie, she went viral after having her Instagram account accidentally disabled, although she thought it was because of people who didn't like her, or I guess wanted some revenge or wanted to hold her accountable, we'll say. This led to her making a YouTube video which would go viral, showing Jessie bawling her eyes out, explaining how she can't get a normal job and that losing her Instagram account feels like death or a murder. Sources claim that she also called the cops because it felt like a murder, and after being exposed for old racist videos, she would try to defend herself. I quote her saying, "I'm not a hateful person, I'm a Sagittarius." Okay, I don't get jealous. I can't relate to hateful and jealous people because I've never been a hateful, jealous person. So that's solid. She's a Sag, guys. It's very solid. She's a Sagittarius. Sagittarius? Sagittarius. Not Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I think. It's all bullshit. Who cares? Am I an Aries? Am I an Aries? Who knows? Who cares? I'm an Aries. Fiery personality. Fire! Cause I'm spicy, baby! Number 3, we got the couple engagement. Now this scavenger hunt video / proposal had a lot of people thinking it was planned, as there was a PDF that was sent to brands months prior in hopes of getting sponsorships. The proposal between Gabriel Grossman and Marissa Casey Fuchs, I think, If you guys see how you spell her name, I could say it another way, but I think that won't be allowed. Either way, guys, on Instagram, she's known as the fashion ambitionist, and she had a lot of people talking back in 2019 as she appeared to be genuinely surprised by the proposal as it played out in real time, but many didn't believe it. The 3-day event, which saw Marissa go from New York to Miami to Paris, would end with a live stream proposal, which Marissa admitted at one point she had a feeling may have been the case. Still, she swore she knew nothing of the planned proposal, although the deck that was shared looked incredibly professional, and although there was some brands involved, they were all companies Marissa had previously worked with. It was a very strange situation, with Gabriel claiming he just wanted to do something nice, and a lot of people questioning if it was legit or not. As far as they're concerned, it was totally legit. She had no idea, and Gabriel set everything up with the help of a few friends, but really, who knows? At number 2, Jenny Ambula. Well, this influencer's page is no longer available, and that's likely because she was arrested and charged, along with her father, Omar, who was a border agent in Colombia. Story here is that Omar, who worked as a mid-level customs agent, would allow untaxed goods into the country for bribes, which he would then send to his daughter Jenny. Jenny would use that money to buy designer clothing and very flashy cars while in Miami, and then post her new purchases on Instagram, which is actually what led to the Colombian authorities to put 2 and 2 together in the first place. Yeah, ain't that a shame? Aside from sending hundreds of thousands to his daughter, it's believed Jenny's tuition at the University of Miami was also paid for using these funds, but I don't think anyone knows what happened to that money. You know, like the university forgot about it, the government forgot about it. It's very interesting. They seized the assets, but that government funded money. No one knows where it went. Now at number 1, Carolyn Calloway. This was a big old mess as the influencer known for her writing tried to do a little tour of her own for $165 a ticket, and it was a total mess. Offering a creative workshop, as she called it, Calloway promised the ticket would include a 4-hour seminar with a coffee, a personalized journal, a care package, and a presentation on the emotional and spiritual dimensions of making art and building your social media brand, as per the New York Post. Originally planned with stops in New York, Philadelphia, Boston, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and London, Calloway would end up relocating the Boston, Chicago, and Philly events to Brooklyn due to awful planning. Those who attended in Washington and New York were very disappointed, leading to Calloway to take to Twitter in a now deleted tweet, reading, I quote, "I take full responsibility for letting my total inexperience with event planning and greed create a situation where the details of the tour were ever changing, preparation was inadequate, and the event did not match the description by the time it went on. I also agree $165 was too much to charge for tickets." Just a total mess of a situation, and she got a lot of backlash and was just exposed for not knowing what she was doing. It's okay though, she apologized.
In at number 10, EDP445. Bryant Moreland, YouTuber known as EDP445, was just caught in 4K by YouTube channel Chet Goldstein, run by a man named Alex Rosen, for trying to interact with an girl. The whole thing was actually caught on camera too, with Moreland actually getting confronted. Moreland thought he was talking to a year-old girl, but it was a decoy. The two exchanged flirty text messages. And this channel is actually known for similar sting operations, setting up meetings online with men who believe that they're interacting with girls. Rosen said that he set up multiple fake Instagram profiles, including one of the girl that he ended up interacting with, and messaged Moreland on his verified Instagram account. In the wake of the exposing, EDP445 has now deleted all content on his channel with over 2 million subscribers. And I am personally just so happy that he was caught and hope that justice is served here. In at number 9, Charli D'Amelio. Charli D'Amelio and her entire family were called out big time after it was exposed that the family was on vacation in the Bahamas during the pandemic. Like, are we really surprised? The worst part about the whole situation was that just days earlier, Charli was lecturing her fans on why they needed to still social distance, saying on Instagram Live, quote, "If you're using this time to hang out with your friends since you don't have school, I'm asking you to please stop being so inconsiderate to others. You may think, oh, this isn't going to affect me, it's not that bad. You're thinking you're a teenager, you're immune. You're putting other people at risk to get hurt and be in pain." But it seemed that Charli was not abiding by her own guidelines, because the family also brought along Noah Beck, Chase Hudson, and Maddie Monroe on the trip as well. The sisters tried to hide the trip by not posting about it on their own social media accounts, but TikTok Room caught them in 4K. In at number 8, Hilaria Baldwin. Hilaria Baldwin was recently exposed for lying about her Spanish heritage, now that old clips are resurfacing where she faked using a Spanish accent. It started when one tweet went viral, saying, quote, "You have to admire Hilaria Baldwin's commitment to her decade-long grift where she impersonates a Spanish person." And the replies of that savage tweet were filled with tons of videos of Hilaria using a Spanish accent and claiming that she was from Spain. However, internet sleuths got to the truth, and she actually isn't Spanish at all. Her parents literally just vacationed in Spain a lot when she was growing up. Also, the worst part, Hilaria isn't even her real name. Her name is just Hillary. One clip that went super viral was of her cooking a meal and forgetting the English word for cucumber while speaking in a Spanish accent. And at number 7, James Charles. James Charles was recently exposed for engaging with over Snapchat. And the worst part was that when he was first called out, he tried to shame the accusers and act like they had all duped him and lied about their ages. However, when more and more allegations came out, it was clear that many of the accusers had their ages right on their social media profiles, easily visible. Or it was just easy to find after a small bit of sleuthing. After being fully caught in 4K, James ended up apologizing and admitting to the behavior that he was accused of. His excuse was that he was desperate for love and ignored red flags. But with all the proof that is mounted against him, it's clear that he uses his fame and power to prey on boys. In at number 6, Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau was recently called out for lying. Twitter account Def Noodles posted that she had been kicked out of a bar in LA called The Abbey because she was filming someone who was receiving medical attention. Def Noodles even included a video of Tana fighting with security. But Tana, of course, did not like this and responded back, quote, "This is not at all what happened. We left because everyone had to due to an emergency inside. You can't just slander people based on assumptions, Def Noodles, LMAO." Then in response to that, he hit back with another video of Tana showing that nobody else was leaving the bar other than Tana and her posse that were getting kicked out. The account also included a story from one of Tana's friends that said that they were escorted out. So clearly, enough proof to know that that's what actually happened. Halfway, number 5, Jeff Wittek. So Jeff Wittek was recently exposed for hiding what happened with his eye. Of course, I'm not blaming him whatsoever for this. He deserves to control the narrative of his own story. When Jeff first revealed that he had badly hurt himself, he never told the reason why, and when pressured about it, he gave multiple different answers. One time he claimed that he was in a car accident. Another time he claimed that he was robbed, leaving fans wondering if the entire thing was actually just fake. But through his docuseries, he recently exposed that he hurt himself very badly doing a stunt for one of David Dobrik's vlogs. He also exposed that David was the person who caused the accident. And if you guys haven't seen that, I highly recommend you do. Amazing docuseries. And at number 4, Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna is in yet another feud, this time fighting with fellow influencer Trisha Paytas. Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure what led up to this, but Gabby called out Trisha for lying about the fact that they were not good friends. I know it's a strange one, but apparently Gabby claimed that they were good friends, Trisha said that they weren't. That was kind of the vibe. And Gabby tried to expose this by showing a text message conversation between them where Trisha actually said, quote, "I'm tired of the internet not knowing that we are friends." But after that, the internet started showing old clips of Gabby's where she says multiple different times that her and Trisha are not actually good friends. And of course, this is totally a dumb thing to even be arguing about, but it's definitely a, diss you moment. In at number 3, Addison Rae. Addison Rae, like a lot of other celebrities, has complained about the paparazzi hounding her in the past. But she was recently exposed for actually tipping off the paparazzi herself. This is apparently what the Kardashians did to get famous back in the day. While Addison was out in New York, she was getting photographed all over town, even though she wasn't staying in a paparazzi-heavy hotel. Page 6 was told that Addison was mostly hoping for the paparazzi to take pictures of her outfits. I guess she's trying to elevate her style game. It's assumed that Addison got this tip from the Kardashians as she's newly BFFs with Kourtney, which is really just a whole other topic of conversation that we won't be getting into now. In at number 2, Andreas Lopez. Andreas Lopez was recently exposed for hooking up with a and he didn't even have a chance to deny it, as a video of him on a phone call with the mother of the accuser started going viral as the accusation came out. On the phone call, you can hear Andreas telling the mother his age. The mother then says the girl's age of 14. The mother even says that Andreas could go to jail for his actions. Near the end of the call, the mother tells Andreas to meet up with her so they can talk more about the situation, which we're assuming that they did later on. Andreas's lawyers later commented on the situation, saying it was entrapment and the whole thing was done to set him up. But either way, the situation is still very And finally, at number 1, Nikita Dragun. Trisha Paytas and Nikita Dragun got into a huge feud a few weeks ago, where they were both exposing tons of old clips of each other. It started when Nikita tweeted out about the upcoming season of her Snapchat show, and Trisha replied, quote, "on Snapchat" with a laugh face. Of course, making fun of the fact that her show was being featured on essentially a dying platform. But Nikita clapped back, quote, 30 million viewers and a billboard on Sunset. But anyways, let me go back to filming my Netflix show. And after that, everyone was just really surprised about her announcement that she was going to be getting a Netflix show. But it recently came out that Nikita was not actually going to be having her own show, but instead it was actually a show about the Hype House, which most people didn't even know that Nikita was a part of. Drama channel Adam McIntyre responded to that news saying, quote, "Please, I'm just remembering Nikita was bragging to Trisha about being on Netflix, but in reality, it was a Hype House show." Yeah, I think we all have the same thoughts about that situation. Alright guys, so that's all for the video today. Let me know your thoughts on this below, and let me know anyone that I missed that could even be in a part 4. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from part 2 of this series. Here's Chica said, "You know it's bad when there's a part 2 of this list. Wouldn't be surprised if there's enough for a part 3. Yes, here it is. There definitely was enough for a part 3. I even think that there probably could be enough for a part 4, which is honestly like scary how much influencers actually lie. My Fantastic Nails said, "Let's be honest, just not influencers that lie. It's also famous celebrities. They just have a better PR team, lol." 100% true. Celebrities lie just as much. I feel like they're just not weirdly as public, you know what I mean? A lot of real famous like actors and celebrities are kind of like down low about that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely there's liars everywhere. Then Kerbina said, "I learned so much from watching vids on this channel. I love you guys." Thank you so much. We love you more. Alright guys, that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and want to see some more, make sure to like and sub to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith. Make sure to check us out on social media, and I will catch you all in the next one.